Smoak.
We heard the Alabama perspective. Kennington Smith III, theathletic.com. Roger Wallace covers Texas television down there, but also the color analyst with Craig Way on the Texas broadcast. Joins Craig Smoak, Paul Catalina, and I'm David Smoak. Roger, we've talked to you. We've discussed, is this team ready to be more than hype? And I guess not that one game changes it, but your thoughts. They played their butts off last year and probably should have won the game against Alabama. What's the week been like in Austin?
Yeah, pretty similar, only, I think Sark likes the idea of he's got a little bit more of a veteran quarterback who was really good until he got knocked out of the game. In fact, I think the ball to Xavier Worthy before he got knocked out of the game was the only over-the-top pass completed last year. Everything's, been crossers or underneath or balls that broke. But, going to Alabama is going to be tough. I don't care what kind of team you have. And they like the roster they built, but this is going to be quite the test on Saturday night.
Roger, one of the things last year about Texas that was the kind of missing piece, and this is not an indictment on Quinn Ewers, it was just his first year as a starter, but if he had to throw them to a win, that was the games that they lost last year, where it was, the running game's been stifled or stopped. Bijan's, not able to win it on it, for the offense, and Quinn just wasn't there yet. What have you seen from him that enables you to think that now maybe he'll be able to do that?
Well, it's interesting because in the first half, I think, people were wondering, all right, where's this passing game against Rice? They really sputtered, 7 possessions, 1 touchdown. But the second half, they came out and they hit him pretty quick with 3 straight scores, and Ewers looked a little bit different. Sark is quick to point out that, whenever a pass play doesn't work, there's several reasons, not always the quarterback. But I don't know. I don't know if they can go throw for 350 yards Saturday night, if they can't run the ball a little bit, force a turnover here and there. But I think they think they can. But Alabama's going to have something to say about that. And this offensive line, Sark said it, they got to play better Saturday than they did against Rice.
What were your impressions of the run game in a post Bijan Robinson world, Roger?
And it's tough to compare after what we saw with Bijan and even Roschon Johnson last year, as you guys know, what they did in that Baylor game when they pretty much just abandoned the pass. And these guys I think are going to be good. Jonathan Brooks brings a different dimension like Bijan did with his ability to go catch the ball. Cedric Baxter, the freshman, had the big run, but then he landed on his shoulder of the ball, and we didn't see him again. So hard to tell, what they're going to get out of him on Saturday. But I go back, guys, to the line of scrimmage, and if they can't win the line of scrimmage, I'm not sure it matters who's back there running the football, which kind of goes to your point about if that happens, is this offense, equipped with Quinn Ewers to win it through the air.
Roger, athlete for athlete, is Texas head up? Not head up. Are they right there with Alabama?
That's a tough one. I saw Alabama on tape against Middle Tennessee. I didn't see, 3.5 hours, but I would say I'm going to take the cop-out route and say they think they're as close as they've been in a long, long time to have the kind of roster they need to compete against teams like Alabama. I don't know if they can match them athlete for athlete yet. Quinn Ewers isn't the athlete that Jalen Milroe is. That guy's special as an athlete. He might be, we'll see how it is in the pass game. Not sure if that's the case, but I do think they think they're as close as they've been in a long time.
Do you think this game will be different than last year's in the way that it's not going to be, a low-scoring affair, that this one might get some more TDs on the board?
Yeah, that's true, because I think that surprised everybody last year. A 20-19 game and, field goals deciding it down the stretch. Each team had trouble, and you got the reigning Heisman Trophy winner on the Alabama side. You got a backup quarterback in Hudson Card who was gimpy on an ankle by the second half. So, I think it's going to be more scoring. I think, obviously Texas hoping they can keep up if they have to get into a bit of a shootout. And I don't put everything into the Rice game. I know Sark, when they came out against Alabama, they looked like an offense that had been thinking about that game since, the season ended prior. The way they came out, the formations, the looks that they gave them, on offense. And I would have guessed that Sark's got some stuff up his sleeve that we certainly didn't see on Saturday. So, I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I can't imagine another game where it's under 40 points total.
Roger Wallace, Texas color analyst, with us for the UT radio broadcast here on 365 Sports. Roger, the game last year, which was phenomenal, came down to Bryce Young making a play at the end. Yes, Ewers was hurt early, but it was hell-bent for election, so to speak. Does that game in any way have any carryover to this game Saturday?
Sark was asked that about Monday, just about confidence and maybe a little bit just because let's not kid ourselves. There's a mystique and an aura around the name Alabama, even though it's been a few years now. And so to go toe to toe with them with the team that they had, a younger team, and now they've got to go down there. And Alabama doesn't host these kind of non-conference games. I think it's been 14 years since they've hosted a Power 5 non-conference game. So that place is going to be up for grabs too, because they're excited about one of these games in their home stadium, non-SEC. But I think it has to help just a little bit mentally, because I'm sure so many teams walk into that stadium and they're probably in their mind down 2 touchdowns before the ball's kicked, just because there's a mystique around Alabama.
Any chance Brett Yormark will be an honorary captain for the Longhorns?
Yeah, I would crack up if Texas won and there was some sort of Big 12 acknowledgement of the big win over Alabama. That would be pretty funny. But that one got some good rundown here. As I've heard from several people, they didn't have to say a lot last week. Brett Yormark did it for them as far as some of the talk around Texas.
All right, so Ewers the quarterback, and there could have been some things better. And then Malik Murphy, who just looks just so impressive, and he comes in. I saw pictures that we had the game off to the side with Arch Manning on the sideline. What is the plan? Is the plan for him the red shirt this year? What is the plan, barring something that could occur, of course, because it's a game of attrition?
Yep, I think you hit it on the head, David. If Quinn Ewers is the guy and he's healthy, I don't see why Arch Manning would have to play more than 4 games, which means just by rule he would have a redshirt year. So I think the plan is if Ewers progresses, and again progresses, then if he goes to the next level, and I see projections already that he's considered an NFL quarterback at a draft round that would lead you to believe that he would go, assuming he stays on this trajectory. And then, then I'm not sure. Then I'm not sure the plan. You would think that a guy like Arch Manning sit for 1 year and then expect to play. But you're right, David. Malik Murphy is a specimen. He came in. He throws the ball really well. We haven't seen him run yet, but he is legit Vince Young size. So I'm not sure, because I don't know if anybody knows exactly how this will unfold.
Roger, I would say if Quinn Ewers is able to declare for the NFL draft and the experts go, yep, that's the thing you should have done, then that's probably really good news for Texas.
Yes. I mean, well, yes, because that would assume he had a pretty good year. Mm-hmm. And that's the most important thing. But yeah, Sark's the quarterback guy. So if he's developing quarterbacks, then that's kind of his calling card. And there's another feather in his cap. And then you figure it out. And I think Sark's fine with that. And he's fine with competition and let the best man win. And I know the Manning name. I came to work on Tuesday, and people were asking why Manning didn't play. They don't quite understand how it works with quarterbacks when you have a name like that. We went through this with Chris Sims way back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Because of the last name, there's certain assumptions. So, if Ewers progresses, goes to the NFL, then, Sark, I'm sure, is going, great, let's figure it out. And it's not unrealistic to think if one is the starter by spring next year, then you could see a change, because that's kind of the nature of the game that college football has become.
So you going there, have you ever done a game in Alabama?
No, I've never been to Tuscaloosa for football. I've been there for basketball in my pre-Austin days, but never been to Bryant-Denny, never been to a football game in the state of Alabama. So that should be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's a bucket list. Yeah,
it's a great spot. It's something that I've been there one time, Roger, and it is one of those things. It's Saban and Bear Bryant, Gene Stahl, it's the Vatican of college football, essentially.
Yeah, we lost the LSU game because of COVID, which was going to be pretty cool. Never been to Death Valley, so to go here, and then next year the Big House, and then of course into the SEC, and you'll roll through some of these places eventually by the schedule. But yeah, selfishly, I'm pretty fired up just to go see the place and do a game and feel what it's about.
And you'll get to go to Kyle Field, and you've never been there either.
I've never been to this version of Kyle Field, but yeah, last time I was at Kyle Field, there was a future Hall of Fame kicker running around on their field that they weren't too happy about.
Oh, that's right. That's exactly right. Roger, enjoy the trip. I know you will. Interested to hear the broadcast and obviously what happens, because I have no idea. I know Alabama's at home, but heck, they struggled against Texas last year early on. A great game last year. Thanks for your time. Enjoy it, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Oh, it was a pleasure, guys. Thanks
you
for having me.
Roger Wallace, Texas football color analyst, also on television down in Austin, has been for many years.
Yeah, I can't wait. To me, this is the